Hello everyone and welcome to the Group Fitness Guide. I'm your host JC. I'm a group fitness instructor and personal trainer, and this is the Group Fitness Guide where we talk about anything and everything group fitness. Whether you are an instructor or enthusiast, this podcast has something for you. In today's episode, we're going to talk about how to get comfortable as a new instructor. But first off, just a few announcements. First off, this is a video podcast now. That is pretty cool. You've got the option to listen or watch the podcast both on Spotify and YouTube now, so go ahead and check those out. We do have a guest on this episode. I've been doing those more frequently, and so I'm going to introduce her and then I'm going to ask her to share a bit about herself. So today's guest is Pella. I met Pella a few months ago when she was going through the instructor process at our college, and I was involved in the decision to hire her, and I oversaw her mentorship process as she became a new instructor. And Pella, I would love for you to go ahead and just tell us a bit about yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Pella. I am a senior here at our school, and I am in the exercise science major. So I'm on the allied health track. I hope to become a PT someday, but I just have always had a background with fitness and working out, and I ran track for 8 years, and considering my career path of choice, group fitness was kind of a no-brainer for me. So yeah, that's how I got into it basically.
And what are you currently teaching?
I am currently teaching bar and cycle.
That's awesome. Yes. We don't put a lot of people at bar at our college, and so it's a big deal when someone does.
Bar is hard.
It's very really difficult. Hard. Yes. So we're going to do our fitness high, low, and Buffalo. If you've been listening for a while, you know that this is our highlight of the week, our low light, and just something random. And of course, this is a fitness podcast. It's all about fitness. So Pella, why don't you go first?
Okay, so my high for this week is I just launched a country cycle.
That is awesome.
I doubled on Wednesday, and it went perfect. I also subbed this morning, and cycle also went well.
You have been doing a lot of subbing.
I have. I think 6.
Awesome.
I think I'm at 5 or 6 right now.
That is fantastic to hear.
As much experience as I can get, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And what is your low light this week?
My low light is that I've had such a busy week with exams and just, I don't know, getting back into it, I guess, even though we've been back from spring break for 2 weeks now.
It's that point in the semester.
It really is that point in the semester. Yes. So I wasn't able to keep up with my normal workout routine, which makes me sad, but cycled 5 times.
You got your cardio in.
I did do my cardio, yes ma'am.
Yeah, and then your Buffalo.
My Buffalo is, so since I'm an exercise science major, I signed up for max testing, cycle testing, because duh, you know, but it's extra credit, so.
That'll be really fun to do.
It'll be scary.
Is that with other students who are running the tests?
Yes, other students will run the test for me, but I am volunteering to find my VO2 max, which is basically, I won't go into the details, but it's how your body consumes and, I don't know, kind of just deals with oxygen consumption while you're working out.
We test a lot of 1 rep maxes in personal training. We never test VO2 max, but it is something that is so interesting to me. All right, so my highlight this week is I'm very close to my 500th class. I'm at 493.
Oh my god.
I do track all of them. I will hit my 500th next Thursday at 5 p.m. It was originally me subbing Tesla's class. Tesla's been on the podcast before, and I was kind of sad about that because I wanted it to be my own class. And then I picked up a last minute class at one of my other jobs, and so my 500th is my own class. My low is that Thursday night was particularly just dead energy in the room. And that's just, it's Thursday night. Those people don't really want to be there. If they're there, they just want to go through the motions, and that's okay. But I subbed a class that did not want to engage with me at all, which that's fine, And then the Buffalo, I'm at a 6 teaching location now, which is...
I didn't know.
Pella's finding this out. I'm at a 6 teaching location now. I thought I was sub only, but as of yesterday, I am having to get my Zumba certification back again and teach chair yoga as well. So that'll be an interesting experience, and it's more money. Yeah. All right, we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes, as our boss would say, of this episode, and we're just gonna get comfortable, talk about how to get comfortable teaching as a new instructor. Now, for context, Pella, you've been teaching 3 months.
Not very long at all.
I'm gonna say 6 months because she started the training process last fall. I have now been teaching for 2 years, so there's a lot of difference, but also we're still at that newer end of the spectrum. And so Pella, I want to first ask, when you became a new instructor, what worried you the most?
I think presenting myself at the front of the class, being a person that's super self-critical. I was worried about, like I said, presenting myself confidently in my own voice and my own skin to a bunch of people. You know, they're all staring at me. So it was the mental aspect that I was really worried about. I wasn't worried about music. I kind of pride myself on my Spotify playlist.
Exactly.
And I knew I could do the physical part. I've been active most of my adult life. So
the hardest part is the teaching.
Yeah, seriously, it's a mental challenge for sure.
Exactly. I actually had the opposite. I thought that my music wouldn't be good enough.
Really?
I always knew I wanted to be a teacher, and that was but I thought that people would perceive me as like, oh, like I don't actually like her. But it's just something you have to get over. Now I want to ask, did your fears of being able to present actually happen once you started teaching?
Yes.
Really?
Absolutely.
Elaborate on that.
So, I mean, I was thrown into my role as a fitness instructor, and I'm okay with that. I'm a senior. Most of the new hires are they freshmen? Most of them. A lot of them. So basically the rec, you guys wanted to get me in and teaching as soon as possible.
Yes, we
did.
did.
So I had 2-ish weeks. Do you remember? Roughly? There was a break. I think Thanksgiving break was in between.
We gave you 2 weeks and then you did finals week.
Yeah. So it was during all of my other finals. So bar and cycle were my 5th and 6th finals.
Yes.
And so I was nervous.
Yes.
And I actually remember I'd finally started to get confident, but
it's hard.
It's hard. It's a whole new animal.
Exactly.
It was not something I was expecting, so very quickly I had to get used to it. But so the fear was there for a little bit, but I got over it. You know, that's what you got to do.
Exactly.
Sink or swim.
Especially with bar. Bar is such a tough format because you're having to not only teach the exercises and the programming, but you're having to go to the beat of the music. Like with cycle, yes, you're going to the beat of the music for the style that we teach, but there's not as much to think about because you're just pedaling. You can't really mess up pedaling, except for me. I've pedaled backwards on accident before. But bar is so hard. I remember I taught bar over the summer, my first semester here, and I had one participant because my class was just not together. But that participant, her name's Connie, she still is a participant of mine. She showed up every single week and she would give me feedback.
Okay.
But it was great, you know? And so it's just that exposure therapy. Now, how many classes did it take before you felt like, okay, I can do this? Because I know you're feeling a lot more confident now.
Oh my god, yeah. It feels like my second skin now.
Here we go.
I feel so involved in my role now. I try to pick up as much as I can. Yes. I make fun themes. I reach out to my participants. I ask them what they want to see, and I give it to them. I make it hard though. They know it's going to be hard.
Should be.
I think I'd say 2 to 3 weeks. It happened fairly quickly for me because I'm going to immerse myself fully into this, and I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah.
So find something you love to do and do it well.
Good.
And so I think I really found myself doing that quickly. Actually, in the first 2 to 3 weeks, I think I started to see those regular participants start coming in.
And it boosts your confidence,
Absolutely.
doesn't it?
It also boosted my confidence when you're getting all this praise. You're like, oh, my favorite compliment so far has been, oh my god, your classes are so hard.
That's the best
I had
compliment.
so much fun.
Yes.
And next week I'm coming again and I'm going to bring my roommate, or I'm like that.
Good.
It just feels so good to hear that.
I think it was like the first or second week of the semester, I had someone else who worked at the rec come and specifically tell me about you and our other new hire for cycle because y'all's classes were hard, which I was at both of their final classes. They were difficult. And I was just taking notes.
Yeah.
It does take a while, but once you start seeing those participants, it's so nice. I am going to point out, you take a lot of fitness classes yourself with your student organization.
Yes, I do.
And so I think that is just such a good thing to do as an instructor, is to just keep taking class and seeing how other people teach to boost your own confidence.
Do you want me to elaborate
Yeah,
on
talk about charge.
Okay, so basically how I've been going about fitness in my college career is, I weightlifted at my junior college, and then when I transferred, I was like, how am I going to make friends?
Right.
What am I going to do with my life here, to make it worthwhile? So I heard rec classes were free. I'm like, girl, I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm there. I went to a bunch. I really liked Pilates. I did a couple cycle classes, but wasn't super into it at that point.
I know when you came into our prep course, you said you wanted Pilates.
Yes, I wanted Pilates and bar or yoga or one of the two, but I'm actually glad they gave me cycle.
We take those with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Anyway, so I went to a bunch of fitness classes, immersed myself in that, and then I joined Charge. So Charge is a girls' wellness group on campus, and basically we do different weekly workouts. We do monthly-ish socials, and we also do weekly small groups. So I'm part of the exec team. I'm the treasurer, so I'll deal with the budget, and I plan all of our socials. I actually just we just hosted our very first formal at this chapter, and so I planned. I did get some help from other people, but I planned most of it, and it was tough, but it was so worthwhile.
That sounds so much fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, with the fitness classes and Charge, it really relates. It intertwines itself a little bit because Charge, our motto is find your fit. Exactly. And so we're basically encouraging girls to, you don't have to just stay on the elliptical. Yeah. You can explore. We do different weekly workouts like Pilates. Everybody loves Pilates. Most people. We've done kickboxing. We've done Irish dancing. We did hot yoga. What other fun ones have we done?
I saw y'all went to Inside Out. And
yes,
just, all
we
the
did.
Different gyms around
we've
the
done
area.
bar. We do a lot of local areas. We're actually this weekend going on a hike. It's like our little extra weekly
fun.
workout. So we're going to Starved Rock, and I'm really excited.
Oh, Starved Rock is great. That's one of my favorite places to go.
So anyway, that Charge just got me into this, and I think that's being an exec leader, gained me the confidence to apply for a position like this. 2 years ago,
we specifically reached out to Charge for that reason.
Oh,
for
did you?
group fitness instructors.
I don't think I remember that.
We, at least our boss, spoke to certain people. I don't know who it was, but was like, hey, promote this. And we specifically, when we look at our new hires, we look at what organizations they're part of. And so that was a huge reason of, it's got a lot of you can bring to the table, Let's talk about some habits that you may have had to unlearn as a fitness instructor, and then we'll circle back to that original question that I had. I want to switch up the order.
Okay.
What did you have to unlearn? Because I'm thinking of one in particular for you.
For me, self-criticism. Ding, 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 ding. Like I said, I'm pretty type A, by the book personality, perfectionist.
A lot of us are.
You know what? That's why we excel so much.
Exactly.
It takes a lot of work to get to the point where we are, but once we're there, everything is down. So I did have to unlearn a lot of criticism. I had let the water roll off my back.
Yeah.
Be like a duck.
Was your strategy just getting yourself to deal with it?
Yeah, basically, it's exposure therapy. I think you said that earlier, but also it's trying to focus on the good, focusing on the regulars that keep coming back.
Exactly.
The praise that they're giving you, oh my gosh, this class is awesome. I look forward to it every week. That's the kind of stuff that gets me right here.
Yeah.
So learning to focus on those, I think, has overall even made me a better person, I would say.
That's good to hear. Now, what skills did you think helped you build confidence the fastest? Because like you said, you're very type A, and so there are a lot of organizational and time management skills that go into it, but there's also a lot of leadership skills that are going into this. So talk about some of those.
Like I said, for Charge, I definitely think that leadership role helped me blossom into the group fitness instructor I am now, but I also think dedication, hard work, when I put my mind to something, I'm gonna get it done. And
exactly.
that's just how I was raised. Shout out mom and dad. But I don't know.
Yeah. Now, we talked a lot about you subbing and just getting more of those classes in. How important do you think preparation is versus just getting more experience teaching? Because I think they both play a role, but I'd love to hear your perspective on this.
I can agree with you, but for me personally, I'd say preparation. Of course, you need experience to become more confident, but preparation is key.
Yeah.
In anything in life, if you don't prepare, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Exactly.
You need to know the ins and outs of your entire class. And I know a lot of people, the seasoned instructors, can make up a class right as they go, or during the class. Yeah, you're crazy. I'm not quite there yet.
No.
But even if sometimes I'll write a class, finish it up an hour before.
Right.
But I have
you still have to be prepared.
Right. I have the playlist made. I listen to them in the car, on a walk. I'll count off cues in my head. You know, I always find some way to prepare, even though I don't have time sometimes to sit down and prepare days ahead. So.
Exactly. And that's what I do. When Pella jokes that, like, oh, like, I make one off the noggin, like, yes, I do that. I did that today. But at the same time, I was still very prepared when I walked in the room. I knew exactly how the structure was going to be. I just didn't quite know the particular exercises, and I made it up as I went. But I sticked to the structure, and I stick to the objectives. Mm-hmm. And so it's about just having something. What we don't want to see is an instructor who comes in with no playlist, with no, like, they don't know how their music's going to work. They don't know anything what they're doing. They don't know how to set up. Like, we don't want to see that. Mm-hmm. With that being said, we see a lot in our new instructors, and Pella, we did notice this in you, that they tend to over-rely on that preparation sometimes because they're really nervous.
Oh my gosh, I had this packet, and I was, like, flipping through. It was a mess.
One of the things I wrote on your audition was stop using index cards.
I still have the index cards, unfortunately, but it's just the name of the song and the basis of what I'm doing.
And that's so much better
this song
than where you
for
were at.
Cycle is just going to be a push-up, and I just have that on the side. I remember it most of the time, just in case.
That's exactly what I do, is I just write down song, what we're doing. Yeah. Or for Pilates, this is the list of exercises I want to get done in the class or something like that. But that over-reliance on notes is so detrimental, but also so necessary, because I want our instructors, when they're new, I want them to have those notes, because realistically, you're coming into this new thing, you need to be over-prepared. But also, you got to start weaning off of it at some point. And I think you've done a really good job. I think all the instructors in your hired class have done a great job getting off of it. Now, how do you think instructors can stop overthinking their classes? Because you talked a lot about just getting over it, but elaborate on that a little bit more.
So, repeat the question one more time.
How do we stop overthinking?
Okay. So, and this goes back to over-preparing, too.
Right.
When I was the first couple weeks of me instructing, I was first making my classes, I would actually write it out by time of the song, and it made it so hard for me. My brain felt like it was going to explode. But I have a method now, like my tried and true. I know the exercises that I do. I just do variations. You know, I switch it up a little bit. Sometimes I switch up the order, but
the participants don't know, and they need the repetition.
Yeah, seriously. I've grown to love the simplicity of base exercises and repetitions rather than more.
And I wrote down on my notes for this, on like something new instructors overcomplicate it. The choreography and the exercises, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. Mm-hmm. Simple is so much better. You gave an example to me last night when we were on shift together. Pella showed me her bar sequence, and it was so simple. It was just a squat variation, but it was so effective. I had someone in my Pilates class today say, hey, I went to bar last night and my knees hurt. I cannot tell you her name on the podcast. I'll tell you afterwards.
Tell me after. I want to know.
She loved it.
Oh, I think I know.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I know.
She goes to yours and to Ainsley's classes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. Those basics and the foundations of movement, just bending and lifting, are so important. Yeah. And I see it a lot in Pilates and bar, where we are trying to be that super creative person. You don't need to be.
It's not that deep. Come on, girl.
No.
But I think also something you can overcomplicate is actually making your classes. I talked about how I mapped out the actual like length of each song, like 32 seconds. How am I supposed to remember that?
Nope.
So here's my tried and true. This is what I do every time now. Make my list on Spotify. Okay? Mm-hmm. Make my songs. Transfer that to a Google Doc.
Good.
I go into Genius Lyric.
Do you do verse, chorus?
Yes,
that's
I'll break
exactly
the song.
What I do.
The thing is, I didn't even reach out to anybody. It's just I found what works best for me.
You just have to learn it on your own. Because if someone tries to tell you, I feel like when I was told do this, like I automatically didn't want to do it.
Yeah, right.
So you have to like figure out, because I used to write out exact timing.
Maybe that's a beginner instructor thing.
It helps in the beginning, but then it hurts once we're getting into it.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about mistakes, because that's the reality of being a new instructor, is you are going to make so many different cueing mistakes, and it is 100% okay. Now, have you ever had a mistake that you were like mortified by, but the class didn't notice? Okay, can you give an example?
I don't get mortified anymore. I'll give you one that the class did notice.
Sure.
Okay, so in Cycle, a couple weeks ago, I launched Punk Cycle. And so that one was going to be a little bit weird because I know not a lot of people listen to that kind of stuff. It's not as popular. But I was nervous about it, and I was like, you know what, we're going to make this work. We had a different mic set up in that room that day.
Oh, yeah.
And so I put it on, and I had... It went under your shirt, and it clipped on to the back of your pants or whatever. So it was under my shirt. It died in the middle of it. And so I was standing up, walking around, going into the closet, getting the new mic, trying to rip this thing off of me, and still cueing push-ups the entire time for the class. And it was rough.
It is rough to do that.
It was rough. Like, they absolutely noticed that. But like I said, it has to be just... water off your back.
That's part of being an instructor, is you have to do it on the fly.
Yeah, I had no control over that, but little mistakes, like my regulars would be shocked if I told them on a good day I make 5 to 6 mistakes per class.
Exactly.
I just roll with it, you know? And that's the beauty of preparing. When you know the ins and outs of your workout for that day, you can improvise on the fly.
Yes.
So if I mess up, oh no, the right leg pulse is going to be a little bit longer than the left. Who cares?
Exactly. And when you're so confident, people don't even notice. I might have told you this story, but the very first week of this semester, I started my Pilates class 15 minutes late.
I did know this.
I was on autopilot. I just, for some reason, thought my class started at 1 and not at 12:45. But I was so, like, confident and unbothered by it, partially because I didn't realize until, like, halfway into class. But I had people, Marisol was there. She's another one of our coworkers. Marisol told me that I was so unbothered that she thought she was wrong about the class start time. And I'm pretty sure that's how most of them were. I think it was hilarious. But I want to talk about, like, do we think acknowledging the mistake or ignoring it works better?
I ignore it most of the time.
Good.
Most of them are so minor.
You don't need to draw attention to it.
No, you don't need... This class isn't about you. It's about everybody out there in the audience. They came for a good workout, and that's what you got to give them, you know? So, I mean, I think group fitness instructing has given me a lot of confidence, but it's humbled me also, because all of us make mistakes.
Yes.
All of the time. None of us are perfect, and I think that's the beauty in it, because just rolling with the punches is how you got to deal with it.
Exactly. I think it really depends on the mistake. I'm always going to advise people that if you can, ignore it.
Yeah.
If it is so obvious or really funny, maybe make a joke about it and acknowledge it. You know, if I, like, really mess up my timing, like if I miss a beat drop in cycle, I will make a joke because people can't ignore that.
No.
However, we're moving on. I'm not spending the rest of the class, like, being hung up on that mistake. Now, I have 2 more questions before we wrap up this episode. What is something that when you were a new and, like, a fresh instructor felt like a really big deal to you that is not a big deal?
Making new classes every week.
Yeah.
Switching it up all the time.
You don't need to.
You don't need to.
Nope.
My regulars, my participants know if I launch a class, it's going to be ran for 2 weeks. Good. And then after that, I'm either going to have something else that I'm going to run for 2 weeks, or I'll recycle an old class until I find the time to actually prepare a good class for them. Good. Because I don't want to just throw something out there.
No.
You know? So I do recycle a lot of classes.
You don't need to keep reinventing things.
No, you don't.
And if you have a good class, why not use it?
Right.
I have definitely reused classes. I did a millennial burger joint theme last night.
God.
That was the exact same class I had taught that morning. Because I taught 2 strength classes that day. I'm having different participants.
Yeah, no, that's what I do. Like when I doubled cycle on Wednesday, I just did
same
country
class.
both times.
It works.
Girl, I was yeehawing and the whole 9 yards. It was great. They loved it.
Yeah. The other thing I would argue, and we've talked about this kind of in our group chats, I don't think high class numbers are a big deal. Because, yes, you can feel very personally affected by it. Like, you taught a very small cycle class this morning. But you taught on a Friday morning at 7 a.m. to college students who had just gone out the night before because it was good weather. Like 99% of them were hungover if they didn't show up.
What do you expect at that point?
Exactly. It is so much less about the instructor, and it is so much more about the time, the day, and the demographic that you teach. I teach at 6 a.m. to senior citizens. I have 2 people per class, and that is amazing that I still have a class every single morning that I teach. Because 80-year-olds are not getting up at 5 in the morning to go to the gym.
Well, some do.
Some do, and they're the ones in my class. All right, and our final question, I think this is a good one to end off on. What is one moment that you thought, wow, I'm an instructor? Okay.
I remember this like it was yesterday, very, very clearly. So it was finals week.
Mm-hmm.
I had the 3 weeks-ish to prepare
Yeah.
for my cycle class. I think you remember this too.
I do.
So, basically our cycle classes range around 40 minutes long-ish, and that's roughly 12 songs average. Well, my class was Tate McRae themed, and Tate McRae songs are notoriously short.
Oh, yeah. Bane of my existence.
So, I had the 12 songs. I was good, but it was 32 minutes and not 40. So, in the 15 to 20 minutes beforehand, like I'd been going over...
I was there for this.
I know. I had gone over that class so much. I wanted to be so prepared, and then stuff hit the fan.
Yes.
And I had to add 3 more songs in the 15 to 20 minutes before I taught.
You did great with it.
I don't want to say that
One
it was
of
an
them was
incredible
choreography.
class. Yes, it was.
That's hard to do.
I don't want to say it was incredible, but by God's good graces, I did it, and here we are.
Yeah. I don't remember writing anything note-wise that would have indicated otherwise.
Really?
Liz and I thought it was great. You did something
glad
in
you
the
thought
moment. It's hard to do that in the moment. It's very hard to switch it up. But yeah, that's one of the best moments ever.
Yeah. But that's, to answer your question, that's when I knew. That's when I knew. It was the real deal. I was like, wow, I did that.
Yes. That was your first full cycle class.
It was
too.
my first
That's
full
crazy.
cycle class.
Yeah. Tate McRae is hard for a first full cycle class.
I did not think that one through.
Yeah.
But it's one of my favorite classes now.
Good. Or do you still teach it?
Yeah, every once in a while.
That's good. Well, that is all the time we have for the podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will be back next Monday with a new episode, so make sure that you tune in either on Spotify or YouTube for that. And if you're interested in more fitness instructor content, follow me on YouTube at JCSpivey, where I post vlogs and also this podcast. So have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.